Welcome back to Keep It on the DL podcast. As always, I'm Daria,
And I'm Liv.
and we're back after a week off.
Not by my own doing.
Yeah, that was my fault. I went on a little road trippy with my mom, so it was not conducive to podcasting.
I will say, however, my mic is fixed if you guys can't hear. Um, if you guys listened to last week's episode, actually I feel like I sound clear. I feel like I sound really crispy. Apparently it was my cord. Like, I knew, like, in the back of my head last week, I knew it was my cord, but I was like, fuck it, like, it's my fucking laptop because it didn't update and this and this and that, and I'm like mad at the world, except actually trying to figure out the problem. And then I told Daria, let us know on any platform if you guys have like the cord drawer or the cord cubby where you just have like a million different cords for different things at all times, and like
Yeah.
none of it makes sense. You don't know where they came from
Mm-hmm.
because the things that you use it for, you probably no longer have, but you somehow still end up with the cord. So that's how I got this cord. I guess this is what is this for? I have no clue. But it has a lifetime guarantee,
Oh, that's
apparently.
good.
Zeal Sound.
That is the that
Zealsound.com.
I think is the microphone.
Have I been using the wrong USB cord this? I might have. I might have been using like a dingy little USB cord this whole
Yeah,
time.
because Zeal Sound is
This
our
might
mic.
actually
It
be
is the microphone.
Oh my god! Well, I found it. I didn't even. Oh, I don't know what the fuck I was using then. Probably just a rando
That's probably why
cord.
it didn't work. They're like,
Um,
we don't even know what this
that's
cord
probably why.
is.
Yeah. um. Anyway, back to Daria. Enough about me. How was your week?
My week was
Well, give me a recap of your week.
yeah, the week. Yeah,
Weeks.
I guess it start with the road trip. So I went with my mom to the Women's College World Series, which is like the college softball national championship tournament. So that was fun. The thing about me and my mom is like we're super close. Like I talk to my mom all the time, every minor inconvenience, everything. But we
Yeah.
cannot spend too much time together in person because it gets a little
Yeah.
dicey. Um
Yeah.
by like day after like 48 hours it's like a little oh
Sorry, everyone. Sorry about that. I was just trying to.
it gets a little dicey. But we made it. We didn't kill each other. We all survived. And it was fun. We were there like all day on Thursday. And it was like kind of hot, but overall not too bad. It was more humid because it kind of rained that morning, but it was fun. Got to watch softball. My mom was a little miffed because Tennessee did not make the tournament. They got eliminated in super regionals, but
Oh, you want to tell them real quick how your mom roasted me in the fucking chat for no reason?
yeah, so like at the end of our recording last time, my mom was here and she was like held hostage in my room while we recorded. And Lo was like, oh, I want to like say hi to your mom. So she comes out and talks to Liv on video chat and she's like, oh, you guys are going to like a softball competition? And my mom goes, oh, competition. You don't watch sports much, do you?
She's so funny. You guys, and that's probably why you guys don't get along, is because you have the same personality.
Yeah.
Um, very like humorous sarcasm, like dry humor, and I can see where you get it from. But it was just funny the way she said it. She's like, "Yeah, you don't watch sports, do you?" Like, well, I don't.
You would be right.
Anyway, nice to meet you. Anyway,
Have fun
hi.
at the softball meet or whatever.
I I'm kind of the same way with my mom, but I will say also, did we bring up the fact that we have no topics
No, we
today?
haven't gotten there yet.
None.
But yeah, we have no
Oh,
topics
okay.
this week because nothing happened. So
Yeah.
we're just chit chatting. So it's just like a little chit
If you
chat.
guys exactly, and if you don't like a professional yapper show today, okay, that's fine. Like, we'll see you guys
Yeah.
next week. But we have nothing to talk about today, and also, Darren and I talked about the other day that I think it would be kind of nice to break it up sometimes, just to like that one episode that we had about the binge eating disorder.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that
Yeah.
episode. I thought that that was fun, and I thought that was a way for the audience to get to know us a little bit
Yeah.
better. And so I feel like should we just call it like a yapper ep? Like we're just
Yeah,
yappers.
sure.
I it's yapper time, like um
Yap in our traps.
yeah. um but oh,
Turn your echo
hello?
on.
Oh, it was just so loud in my headphones I was afraid it was going to echo. But anyway, yeah, so we have no topics today, but let me go back to my mom. So my mom's like we're kind of so I feel like you and I work the same way. We do get along, but if we get in the same vicinity for more than like 48 hours, it starts getting a little
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
It's a little tough. Um, because at that point, like, I feel like that's the way, in that it could be a toxic trait of mine, but I feel like that's how I am even on like
Yeah.
vacations or like friend vacations. Like I could be the same way. Like I think eventually your social battery just
Right.
ends with
Yeah.
anybody, and you're just like any little thing they do, like your mom could have picked the fucking toast up wrong at the breakfast buffet at the hotel that morning. You would have been like, what the fuck? Like why the fuck did you pick it up that way? Just cuz,
Well,
you know.
actually, both of the hotels we stayed at did not have a breakfast, which is one of the fights we got into.
Are you for
I was like,
real?
why would you book a hotel that doesn't have a continental breakfast?
Oh, so it was
Yeah.
her. She
Yeah.
ordered the
And she
hotel
was
with no
like,
breakfast.
you're worried too much about the breakfast. I didn't even look at that. And I was like, that's always what I look at. Does it come with a breakfast?
Yeah, it's free food. Not only do I get to
Exactly.
stay there, but then I get to get up and eat your shitty little breakfast just to feel like I made it all
Right.
worth it after spending too much
Right. I
money.
get to make a little Belgian waffle that I flip in the machine and then it sticks. And that's part of the magic.
I'm not even a waffle girly, but I feel like
Exactly.
continental breakfast waffles hit different. I'm
Exactly.
sorry, they hit different for some reason. Now the eggs,
Definitely powdered eggs. They don't
no,
hit. They don't
definitely
hit,
powdered.
but they're there.
But the sausage
Yeah.
patties, pretty
Yeah.
good. I do love their
You get a little
get the
yogurt.
oatmeal out of my
Yeah, you can get a
face.
little yogurt, get a little granola for
Yep,
later, a little granola bar. Yeah.
exactly.
Apple juice.
The cereal,
Yeah.
the turning cereal
Yeah, you've got
dial,
your
you
juice
know?
dispensers. I'm always gonna get the apple juice. Yeah.
On a normal day, I'm like, "Oh my god, that's so much food." On a continental breakfast day, I'm like, I put it in my
I'm like,
napkin, I'm like,
"No, no, I'm just gonna take all of this back. I'm gonna eat
"Yep,
no, I'm gonna, like,
yep,
eat it throughout the day."
I'm taking the pan. Can I take the pan?"
It'd be
Just the
easier with
pan
a
full of
tray.
sausage
Yeah.
patties. Yeah. Could you just bring it to the
I'll
table?
bring it back. I'll bring
Thank
this
you.
back down when I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna spend I know I'm not like K plus 8 up in this bitch, but a dollar's a dollar, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
I should get a breakfast.
I'm gonna use
Yeah.
it. I do love a good brunch, but, like, when I'm on vacation, at least 3 if it's, like, a week's worth of vacations, at least 3 or 4 times I'm using that bitch, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
One fun breakfast of vacation is
Yeah.
fine, but you gotta save a couple dimes here and there, you
Exactly.
know?
You don't wanna be
Anyway,
going out every morning.
so she dropped the ball with the
She
continental
did.
breakfast. How
I
dare
know.
she? Oh my god. And did you do one of those, like, boomer millennial things where you just, like, skipped out on breakfast and just waited till lunch? Because that's the
Well,
worst. That's the
yeah, yeah. So then her solution
worst.
was like, "Okay, well, let's just go to Walmart and we'll get breakfast." Because there was, like, a little hot plate and it was kinda like a kitchenette situation, But then we were, like, out at Walmart, and I was gonna get some, like, breakfast sandwiches, whatever, and then we were gonna go to dinner afterwards, so I was like, "Well, I guess I can't get frozen
Mhm.
breakfast because 'cause we're about to go to dinner, and they can't sit in the car the whole time." So I just got a
Yeah.
little Belvia sandwich bar and called it
No.
called it a day.
No.
So, yeah.
I I love my friend to death, but there was a time where I had went to a certain place, and um that morning before we left, we were supposed to get breakfast. I found the cutest cafe. So don't get me wrong, I love a continental breakfast, but I also love
Yeah, the
a
local.
cute
Yeah.
tiny little breakfast
Yeah.
place. Okay? I found this breakfast place. She has a babe. She has a baby. She just had the baby like 6 months ago. I totally understand. But I remember we went to the breakfast place and I was super excited. And I put my name down on the list and she's like, "How long do you think we'll have to wait?" I'm like, "I don't know, probably like 20 minutes max." So the hostess comes up. She goes, "Hey guys, it'll be like 10, 15 minutes." I'm like, "Okay, like we can wait around." Well, there was a baby store next door. So I said, "Oh, okay, let's go into the baby store." We look around. It's too expensive. Oh my God. Like crunchy granola mom fucking stores. Like you want how much for a fucking binky? Like, just because it's made out of a fucking corn husk doesn't mean I'm gonna pay you $35 for that thing. Anyway, so we looked around. Obviously, we both found out that, like, we could
Right.
not afford
You would not
anything
be
in that fucking
making a
baby
little
store.
purchase here.
Um, and so we went back, and I think it had been, like, 15 minutes back then. The hostess had still not called our name, so she just kinda looked at me. I'm like, "Well, we can just go pick something up." And she's like, "Okay, okay, yeah, and I'm like, "Okay." So which I was like, "Okay," like I was being optimistic at that point, you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Um, and so there was like we wanted a coffee. So then she said, "Okay, well, let's stop by and get coffee at the Starbucks and a Kroger." So we get to Kroger, we go
I love a
inside,
Kroger, by the
we
way.
get
Just love a Kroger.
and you know what? I was kind of a fan. It was actually kind of nice. I think it reminds me of like a Ralph's
Mm.
in the Northeast or Northeast. Oh my god. West Coast, in the West Coast, California, like that way. They have Ralph's. Um yeah, and so we just walked in, and at that point, okay, there's nothing worse than being
Yeah.
hungry. Like being hungry and then my plan and that's just me mentally, like being hungry and my plans already like changing. I was like kind of in a brain fog already. We get to the Starbucks, the little kiosk in the Kroger. No one was there.
Ooh,
And I was like,
what do you mean?
"Okay." And she's like, "Well, maybe we could just like get some like fruit or something." I'm like, "Baby, I wanted biscuits and gravy.
I
I
wanted
wanted fucking
pancakes.
eggs Benedict.
I wanted an
I don't want it.
omelet. I wanted
Like I got binge eating disorder, bro. I was there to
we were about to
munch.
go
You know what I
ham,
mean?
and now we're gonna get some fruit.
so I so eventually this nice little Kroger cashier comes up and she goes, "Do you guys want me to make your drinks?"
That'd
We
be
were like,
great. Yeah.
"Yes, if you could, yes." And so I think I ended up getting like a Starbucks Gouda bacon double smoked sandwich, which was fine.
It's just,
It's
like,
just
not the
when
same
I
as, like, a
have
little breakfast place.
just a little breakfast nook. That was literally the moral of my story is I love a breakfast
Yeah.
place. I love like a breakfast nook. Oh my god, we've literally been on the phone for 14 minutes and we've probably talked about breakfast like
7.
90%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, peace and love to her. No hate. I understand. She had a baby. Like I couldn't imagine like I almost said shitting. I couldn't imagine having a
Popping
baby
out a baby.
and popping out a baby and then like leaving it. So I totally understand where she's coming from. I would probably have weird separation anxiety as
Yeah.
well, considering it was her first time leaving her
Uh,
baby. So I can
yeah.
understand. But
But could we
I
have
was
at
ready
least
to
gotten a breakfast?
munch. I was ready to munch. you know. But anyway, so what else are we gonna talk about today?
Well, I will say
Uh,
as far as the
yeah.
rest of my week, I was off Monday.
We didn't
We
even
didn't even
finish it
make it
off.
through.
Okay.
I was off Monday and
Oops.
Tuesday, which was lovely, and then I had to go back to
Yeah.
work Wednesday, which was really sad. Um,
Yeah.
it felt like a very long week, even though I was only there for 3
Yes.
days. And on top of that, I guess my brain stopped working at some point during my vacation because I was like running around doing this task. Like
Right.
I
Yep.
had to like call a different business. I was already asking for the impossible. And I leave a voicemail and my brain just turned off during this voicemail. I was like in the middle of giving the number. I was like, if you could just call me back, my number is 314, blah, blah, blah. And then I just froze. I was like, what is the number? I was like,
You had vacation
yeah, I was
worms
like,
in your brain.
and so I'm like, okay, let me just pull up my email because somebody's got it in their signature. The email I bring up is somebody that has a direct dial number, so not the regular
Yeah.
phone number. And I was like, okay, I gotta have
Right.
another one in here. Meanwhile, I'm just like,
Yeah.
zero, another zero. And then I finally just finished and it's like,
Yeah.
anyways, I'll just like go ahead and email you with all this information. So, you can just,
By the way, my name's Angie.
yeah, I said at the beginning that my name was Daria, but it's actually not. It's not. Don't ask for her.
I was gonna see if you thought that I sounded like an Angie or a Daria. Anyway, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, just delete this
Delete
voicemail.
me,
So,
delete me from this conversation, Shaq. Um, it's okay. You just had like brain
yeah.
worm. Not to mention, I don't think it was a big deal, but that's just me because that's my brain. Like that's something I do literally on a daily basis. But I do understand you from a professional sense because the company that we work for, it's not like suit and tie, but it's definitely,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
business. So so I can understand you being like, "And the number
Uh,
it's just you clicking, like, trying to find the
and
email.
I'm sure I was like audibly making sounds. I was like, uh,
Ah, ah,
it's there's like a zero
fuck, fuck.
zeros. Yeah. I
It's just you.
I did get a call back though, so that was good.
Oh, good.
Not from the
He's
same
like, "Hey,
person.
Angie. Hey,
Hey
Ange."
Angie. I'm like, who's Angie?
Um,
Oh, me. That's me. Yeah.
oh,
Anyways, my
yeah, sorry she
email
got that
is
number wrong.
Daria. No, it's just like I don't know, it's super weird. They use my middle name for some reason.
That
I
is
don't know.
we r you if you guys think that we riff really hard on the show, you should see us in front of each other because we riffed about that for, like, 20 fucking minutes. Like, what did it end up being? We lured into what? Like, you having a
Me.
connection with the other person on the
Yeah.
phone?
Anyways, are you single? Do you want to like go to dinner sometime?
You're like, "Oh my god, this is so embarrassing." I think it's just I've been going through a lot lately and,
And
it's
just
just like I just hit 30 and, like,
I'm just
I'm
like
just trying to, like,
figuring it
think of it
out. Do I want to buy a house?
and you
Do I
just
not want to buy a house? Anyway, do you like
you
pancakes?
just
Yeah.
keep going. You just keep going. Anyway, I did just look you up on Indeed, or LinkedIn, and I think you are very handsome, so if there's
If,
if you don't have a lucky lady in your life,
um I can remember my cell phone number, so I can give that to you.
yeah, you definitely had the vacation
Yeah,
brainworm, but that's okay. I feel like I forget how to do my job even over the weekend sometimes.
it
So,
happens.
I got to give you some credit here. There's some things in this job that I do that if I don't do it for a solid like 3 to 4 months, when it comes up again, I'm
How did
like,
I do that?
how
Yeah.
the fuck did I who who do I send this to? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I just completely forget the whole system of my job that I've been doing for fucking 2 years. Um, but well, that's good. I'm glad you had a good vacation. I'm glad you guys didn't murder each
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
and
How was your
I
week?
hope hoping praying for that number, girly.
Ooh, please. How was your week without me? You
uh,
did text me while I was gone.
multiple
Well,
times.
you texted me
Uh.
a picture of my desk with a little stick person sitting at the desk.
If I can find it, I'll put it right here. I was having, I wouldn't even say FOMO. It was just really sad. Me and friend of the pod, Travis,
Yeah.
I think we talked like every couple days about how much it just sucked with you not being there. Um, and I actually started to get like really kind of sad about it. Um, it was, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was like, I it's like it's like clockwork for me.
Yeah.
Like anytime I get stressed, like instead of like taking a drag off a cigarette, I get my stupid ass up and I walk across the office to go mingle with
Right.
you or to talk about it or like to even just like,
Yeah,
talk
take
in
the edge
general, just like have
off.
a
Yeah.
conversation. And it's like when SpongeBob walks into his home and like Gary was missing. Like
Right.
that's just how I felt every fucking day. Like it's like I had memory loss. So every time I go back there, I'd be like, Daria,
D
Daria.
I need to, like have to, like I guess I'll talk to you, Travis.
And even though she doesn't like making I think I texted you like 3 times during your whole fucking vacation. I said, "Oh my god, call me. I have to tell you about all this." Nothing. Nothing. No call, no text back.
Well, okay,
Until like the
on
3rd
one of
call
them,
me.
I did say, "Call me when you get off," and you did not call
That's
me.
true.
So then I did call you.
That's true. I just I think for 1, I missed the pod. For 2,
Yeah, you
I
did say
missed,
that.
and like the biggest reason was like I just missed our yapping sessions. I feel like the yapping really gets me through the day,
Yeah,
okay?
I will say when I go out of town, I'm so bad at, like, texting or checking my phone. Like, it's not that I don't have my phone on
Same.
me, it's just, like, the effort to
Yeah.
have to, like, text back, and then I'm, like, worried about my battery, if I have enough to last me all day.
Oh, yeah. I'm the same way. When I went to Chicago back in February with Zach, I probably texted friend of the pod Sam like maybe twice. Like
Yeah,
sometimes when you're on
and it's
vacation,
just so
peace and love, but
exhausting.
that's like the last thing you're thinking
Yeah.
about is your friends. Like, you know what I mean? You're like in the moment. You're there.
Yeah, you're, like, doing
So I don't
stuff,
really have
and then
time.
when you get back to, like, the hotel or whatever, you're just like
You're
yeah, it's
tired.
like, well, now I'm tired from doing stuff, and I just wanna, like, just
Yeah.
starfish and do nothing.
I in fact don't want to keep up with you and I don't want
I'll
to see what you
see
did
you
today, you
when you
know?
get back. I'll see you then.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did, oh, and then I texted you "A grill is not a grill," or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
You love that
I
song.
do.
I thought I was like, "Oh, she'd like that." Also, did you notice in the doodly drawing, I did your headband and your your
Oh,
your hair?
no,
Did
I
you see that?
didn't.
That's why you had short hair because I did your headband with your
Now I'm
hair.
gonna go look. Oh, you did. The headband is green. Well, it's like black
Yep,
and then
and
green.
then you have your little hair.
And also oh, the remote kinda makes it look like I have a cigarette in my mouth, but
So it was tough, but we made it
we
through.
did.
But and then other than that, after Jerry got back, all was well. Um, and then I guess big news. I don't think I've talked about it on the pod. I
I
don't
don't
think
think so.
Zach and I, my boyfriend, Zach and I, we started looking for houses. We have made that really big step in our life to start looking, even though I'm not booed up. Well, I am booed up. I'm not
Wifed out.
mood up. Yeah, married. I'm not married and I'm not pregnant. So, but we still decided, hey, let's fuck it, let's buy a house together. I in fact do not have the money, but I have the credit.
And
And he
that's
in
an
fact has the
important
money.
part of it.
Exactly. And there and he'd probably be living in a cardboard box right now if it wasn't for me. So he's welcome. So not because he's a bum, just because my credit's really good. Um anyway, so we started the housing process a week ago. And like if anybody knows right now, the housing market is crazy. It's
Yeah.
insane. Nuts. Okay. I went to the physical therapist the other day. My physical therapist told me that her house in Kirkwood, if nobody knows what, if you're not from here, you wouldn't know what Kirkwood is, a very nice area of St. Louis. She sold her house in 3 hours.
Yeah.
In 3 fucking hours. The housing market in St. Louis right now is insane. So we met our realtor. Everything's going good. I was in fact feeling sad because we had probably walked 3 houses at that point, and with our housing budget, no bueno, no bueno. There, it's not good. No, no good.
Yeah, I feel like in St. Louis, like in the county-ish, like in the nicer area, like the areas you'd want to live in, like
Mhm.
it's like almost like 300,000 gets you a fixer-upper almost. It's just like,
Yeah,
okay, well,
tough.
why do I want a 300,000 fixer-upper?
It's bad. It's really bad. Places like, and I'm sure we have a good majority of St. Louis listeners, like places like Crestwood, Kirkwood, um, I mean, obviously Webster. I mean, you
Yeah,
know what I mean. Those places, you're gonna get like an 800 square foot shack for about
yeah,
$275,000. You know, just stupid money for these fucking houses, and especially since the market is so good, they know that they can sell those pieces of shit for high
yeah.
price, and people are probably gonna buy them because they need somewhere to live. So at that point, knowing the housing market, knowing how crazy it was, I was so bummed out. But our realtor did manage to pull through like 4 houses for us. We went yesterday. We toured the first house. No bueno. I mean, there was Paw Patrol stickers all over the doors. There was glow in the dark stickers plastered all over the walls. I mean, the worst house. The carpet on the stairs was stained. The wood was like chipped in the kitchen. It was terrible. They wanted $260,000 for the house. No, no, and, like, even our realtor, like, walked in, and within 2 minutes, she looks at me and she goes, "I'm not if you wanna buy this, beyond me. Like, I don't know
I
why you
can't tell
would."
you no,
She's like,
but, like, I wouldn't.
"Yeah." She literally looks at me and she goes, "I'm done. What about you?" And I was like, "You know what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
no, I
too.
me yeah." Yeah, she's like, "The audacity for these people to mark it up to 260,000 is beyond me." So we literally walked out of that house within 5 minutes. That was easy peasy. We said, "No, thank you." Um So then we toured 2 other houses about that. Well, then we found a 3rd house and, in a really good area of St. Louis, kind of in, like, the heart, I guess I would say, like, probably smack dab in the middle. Um, it didn't look like anything from the outside. If you know St. Louis, and I say a typical St. Louis brick home, that's exactly what it looks like, and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, Kind of the ones you'll see more like going towards St. Louis City instead of county. And so when Zach sent that ad to me on Zillow, I literally was just going to delete his text message. I was like, "How dare you send me anything of that sorts?" And he's like, "Just open the listing." And I'm like, "Okay." I open the listing. It's beautiful. It's so nice inside. So we go, we visit it. It was so nice. And then I started getting really anxious because Zach, he's never like, you know how, oh my God, dude, like men, sorry, men, but men never feel so, at least certain, they never feel so passionate about
Yeah,
things. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, you could be like, "What do you think about this?" And they're like,
I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Well,
it's good."
okay, I will
Yeah.
also say that you haven't done it in a while, but
Ugh.
you used to get mad at me all the time for not being passionate enough about liking stuff.
It's just like I need
So,
I need
to be
passion
fair
in
to
order to read
Zach,
other people's
the
feelings.
level of excitement you need is, like,
Yeah.
here, and, like, a normal person excitement is about here, so maybe Zach was, like, here.
So so during this housing process, we negotiated with numbers.
Okay.
So I said, "What do you feel about this?" Because if you give me, like, a 6.5, I know that you, like, are fine with it, but you're not in love
Yeah.
with it. So, after the 4th house we looked at, I looked at him, I said, "What do you think about this one?" He goes, "Hmm, 9.7?" And I was like, "Damn, okay, you're feeling really good about this one." Because I was already on board with it, but, he's the one that's spending the money, so, like, I didn't wanna be like that
Like, "I
girl.
really like it, I love it,
Like,
I love it, let's get it." And he's like, "Mm,
I love it. Please, 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 please." So, I said, "Okay, do you wanna put an offer down?" And he's like, "Sure." We were the only person that put an offer down on that house,
really?"
which is crazy. Yeah. So, the realtor is convinced that she thinks that it's because of what the outside of the house looks like, which is
Mhm.
literally what I thought looking at the ad. I was
Yeah,
like, I would have never even looked at that fucking house twice if I didn't even, like, scroll through the
yeah,
photos. It's not the fact that it looks dingy, it just looks like a St. Louis brick house, and that's all I can describe it
yeah,
as. Um but a nice little backyard. I can't wait to start a garden. Oh, long story short, we put in our offer. They did accept it. So Zach and I are now in the process of finalizing on the house. So I am now a homeowner, which is very exciting, but also
yeah,
scary. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I have buyer's regret, but I have buyer's regret with literally
yeah,
everything. Like I could literally buy something nice for myself at Ulta, and I would convince myself that I don't need it 20 minutes
yeah.
later, and I won't take it back, but I'll try to convince myself I don't need it
Yeah.
because 'cause I'm
Well,
too
yeah,
lazy.
I feel like I do the thing
Yeah.
of like, "Oh, maybe I'll return it." Knowing I'm not gonna return it, but I'm
Yep.
like, "Oh, I should return it."
Yeah, but for some reason, in the back of my head, it makes me feel better knowing that, like, "Oh, like, I would return it," so that makes me feel better, like, knowing that,
I
if I didn't need it, I would definitely put it back.
I'm like, "Oh, if I really, like, can't
Yeah.
afford it, I'll, like, return it," but I'm probably just gonna
Mhm.
keep it, so
I'm so used to talking about topics, I feel like it's only been 30 minutes, and I feel like I've yapped forever. I don't know why. Man, maybe it's just because, like,
you're a yapper.
I don't know. I am a professional yapper. So we did end up getting the house. If all goes well, we move in a month. So,
Coming up.
I'm
But
scared.
you don't
Um,
have to, like,
yeah,
rush to move in because you still have your apartment.
I do. So we'll have my apartment for 2 more months, which will be really nice. If anybody in the St. Louis area wants an apartment, so that I don't have to pay the $2,400 cutout lease, that would be amaze balls, but, that's a long shot. Um, so, yeah, so we
This
move
is,
in
like, the
the
one thing
ninth.
we get, like, a DM on.
Yeah,
They're
fuck,
like, "I
yeah.
listen every
I
week,
know,
but I am interested in the apartment."
but just DM me and I'll give you the details. Not weird at all. Random person over the internet. Um, but yeah, so if all goes well, we move in on the 9th. I already started a Pinterest board. Um, I'm very excited to give the house my own little touch. I will say it is very modern for my taste.
Yeah.
Um,
I know you don't love modern. I'm
but
a modern girly.
yeah, as soon as I saw the house, I was like, "Oh, Daria would really like
Yeah.
this
It's
one."
cute. Yeah,
I
I
thought
like
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I
like, "Daria
always
would like something like
say,
this."
like, if you describe a house as, like, has character or has charm. No, it's not for me, you lost me. I don't want character or charm. I just don't.
I will say there are, like, a couple fun quirks, like, the,
Farmhouse aesthetic.
we have oh god. There's one of those, like, floating shelf, like, railing type of shelves, like, in the kitchen. I was like, "We're taking that down. I'm not doing that." Um but it does have a fireplace, and Zach gave me permission to paint the fireplace a fun color, so I'm excited about that.
I will
Um,
say I am very interested to see how you put your touch on the house while also seeing how Zach well, the thing is, I feel like Zach's
yeah,
just gonna let you do whatever, um,
I am a
and it
princess,
is
yeah.
just gonna look like your house, and it's gonna be like, "Does a man lives here? Um, a man lives here?"
This is Barbie's dream house, not Ken's dream house. Uh, yeah, so we've definitely had to compromise over the last 24 hours because I was already talking to him about it. I'm like, okay, if we get this house, like, we need to come up with like a color scheme, what we're going for, the vibe. I was like, because like it's also your house, but also like you know me, so you need to let me know like ahead of time what you don't want. And he's like, I'm fine with burnt orange. I'm fine with emerald green. He's like, I'm fine with splashes of pink, but for God's sakes, please don't paint everything like pastel pink. I'm like, I will try not to. Yes, I won't. I will try not to. But however, he did give me permission to put a fun wallpaper as an accent in the dining room. So I am excited about that.
Okay.
So I'm already looking at wallpapers. I'm just really excited. I think it's just a new era, which is why I keep convincing you that you need to move out because I feel like you could. I know in this economy, I can't really. I'm like pocket watching right now, but I'm just
I
saying,
as somebody was
I
like,
feel like
"I don't have the money, but I do have the credit."
I'm no, but what I'm saying is whether it's a new apartment or not, I feel like I feel like you would vibe out in so many other places that probably the way that they're trying to make you pay right now, you could probably pay elsewhere and have a cuter. Not saying your apartment's ugly, it's just you are a modern
Yeah.
girly, and so I just feel like you.
Yeah, so, like,
I
my
just
plan originally was to possibly move before I just signed my lease, but then, like, because I feel like at the beginning of the year, I was like, "Yeah, like, my savings are saving, like, everything's flowing," and then, like, by
yeah.
March-ish, it took a turn really quickly, and I was like, actually, I'm just gonna stay here because that's gonna be easier, cheaper." And then I'm just gonna like really
Yeah.
channel that energy into next lease cycle and decide if I really want to buy a townhouse or condo or just
Mhm.
move into a bigger apartment because I do need a bigger apartment at the end of the day.
I I could I just feel like I could see you in such like a white asylum ass modern um like black hardware fucking, I already know like the aesthetic that you would live in.
Yeah, I do
And
feel like I
also,
don't want carpet except for in the bedroom maybe, but like I do want
yeah,
a place without carpet because my apartment has carpet.
very blessed that our house does have dark hardwood. Thank
Yeah.
God, because for one, well, I'm a little scared, right? Because of like tracking and
Uh,
stuff, but we do have a mud room. So I'm going to try my best because I am a little gremlin. I'm going to try my best to have a no shoe in the house policy, even though I'm terrible at it. Um, but like dark hardwood, do you think dark hardwood would be better or worse for hair? Like cat hair,
I
dog hair?
feel like
Oh my God, maybe
worse.
it'd be
I think it's
worse.
worse.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to get that Roomba
Yeah.
going like every day. Um, I will say, however, a funny quirk of the house is the door that goes into the basement. I'm assuming the last person that owned the house had also had a cat, because they just cut a triangle out of the bottom of the basement door so that their little cat could fit under the stairs without them having to open the actual door, which is genius. So we already do. I mean, we have 3 cats in the house if nobody knows me, so we don't even have to like
Right.
no cat doors, no nothing. Like they're set up. So um I'm just really excited to start. And Sam and I, friend of the pod Sam, also Sam is going to be living with us in this
Yeah, you
economy.
can't leave her high and dry.
It's tough out here. Yeah. So she's going to stay with us as long as she possibly wants until she's comfortable to move on her own. Um, but we already did decide that we want to throw a tiny little party with me and you, and we can do like painting, and I have like decorations and stuff. I can do a charcuterie board. We have phase 10, which I will get mad at you if you win,
Wait,
but that's
I didn't know
okay.
you were like a phase 10 girly.
Oh my god. Phase me up, baby. I love phase 10. Do I hate losing?
Yeah,
Yes, I'm a very sore loser when it comes to games. But yeah, no, I love a good phase 10. But I just figured we could do that. A little wine, little paint, little charcuterie board, little artichoke
a little
dip.
phasey, little
No,
phase 10y.
yeah, little phase 10. Um, but yeah, so I'm excited for it. So that's your formal invitation over the pod, but I was gonna talk to you
Also,
more about it off the
listeners,
pod.
if you want to come too, DM us if you're in the St.
Absolutely.
Louis
Yeah. It's 4874, no, but yeah. Yeah, we just have a house party
It's a meet,
for
yeah,
all of
it's a meet
the
and greet.
St. Louis
Yeah.
listeners.
Honestly, if you DM us, we might invite you. You know?
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
If you're brave enough to
as
do
long as you
it.
like, if you could just comment for God's sakes, please,
Comment, leave a
someone.
review. If you like us on Instagram, like us on TikTok,
Yeah,
leave us a
right.
review on iTunes or
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts
It's like a
and a
giveaway,
rating,
but it's
and on Spotify and follow on both. You could come, honestly.
it's like a giveaway, but we give you nothing except like some maybe like some artichoke dip
And
and
some
like some little
yellowtail
smokies and
wine.
stuff. And honestly, to see us, which is probably,
Yeah, your
that's
your
the
favorite
biggest award.
podcasters.
Yeah.
We'll give you an
Yeah. Your
autograph.
local
Yeah, we'll
podcast.
take a picture with you
Yeah.
also. So
Maybe I can start convincing Daria to actually film the pod in person, considering it's really close to our work establishment. And, I, we
we
could, we
could.
could, we could. You just have to be open to it. But we could definitely do it on like Fridays, but we can't switch the days. I feel like everybody's too stubborn on Mondays. I feel like, do you think if we switched pod days that we would get more views?
Um See,
Like Friday?
now
No, I don't know if Fridays would
for
be
me, my dead podcast days are Tuesday and Thursdays. I feel like nobody releases on Tuesdays and
okay.
Thursdays. But I
Mhm.
would say that at this point, almost a year in, which is funny because actually, speaking of that, I'm going to finish this thought first. But almost a year in, I will say, I feel like we're part of people's routines already. So, like, Mondays
That's
might
true.
be fine.
That's
But
true.
I think, if we did switch the days, we would just, but I feel like Mondays just work because let's be real. Are we ever going to
Yeah,
record on a random Wednesday? Probably not.
absolutely not. It's better to probably record on
It's going to be
Fridays and just
Friday,
upload
Saturday,
on
or
Mondays like we
Sunday.
do.
We got 3 days to get it done.
Yeah.
But anyways, speaking of which, in my pot or my time hop, because I'm a freak that checks time hop every day for the last 6 years.
Oh god.
But in my time hop, like last week or whatever, was
Mhm.
like the logo I had sent, like the first like logo that I made, and I sent you, and you were like, "Oh, you have like a real logo. Wait, I kind of like it."
I maybe we should we I don't think we've talked about that in a really long time, how we kind of started the pod.
Oh,
Really, I didn't think anything
yeah,
of it.
and the text that my mom sent me, she was like, because we share an Amazon account, she's like, "Did Alexa just say that you got a microphone?" And I was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it."
Yeah. Yeah, I want to start streaming video
She's like, "Are you trying
games.
to do
Anyway,
karaoke?" It's like something like that.
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Derry and I had talked about podcasting for what? Probably like 8 months before
Yeah, a
that,
while.
about how much we
It
like
was like a
podcasts and
joke
how
at
much.
first, and then it like slowly got
Yeah.
more and more like we should do that.
Yeah, when she started, like, banging out the fucking logos, I was like, "Oh, no, she's ready. No, she's serious, like, she's dilated to a 10.
She's
She's ready to go,"
dilated.
you know?
Sure, yeah.
You know, she's, like, ready, so, it just kinda I do remember that day, it just kinda threw me for a loop because you had the pink and the orange
Yeah.
gradient with the keep it on the I was like, "Oh, shit, okay, we're gonna do this," and now here we are,
Yeah,
which is
almost
crazy.
a year.
It's, like, insane. I know, and I would say, what, we started doing video maybe, like, 4 months ago?
Not
So,
even 4.
all the time? Fuck, 3?
No,
So,
probably, like,
2?
maybe a month and a
Yeah,
half.
just keep
Yeah,
going down.
probably
Alright, a month and a half, we've been um, which I feel like has kinda helped us with podcast clips and stuff, so hopefully that will continue growing, but other than that, like, it's just insane the fact that we've been doing this for
yeah.
a year.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we've taken some weeks off here and there, but, like, not that
Of course.
many, all things considered.
No.
All considering we're literally not getting paid and we have not that many listeners, we've taken
Right. So,
we're very consistent.
we've been doing this for 11 months. uh 10 and a half. I don't know, whatever. But it's like no,
The
I
year
would
still
definitely say
counts.
we've
The
probably
year
only
still
taken like what?
counts.
4
Mm,
how many pods do you think
maybe
we've taken off?
6.
4?
I would say maybe
6
6.
pods. That's fine. But, when they start paying us, when
Exactly.
we start getting paychecks, then we'll start being,
Exactly. Yeah.
we'll start
The
hitting the
thing
books like
is, right
Daria said.
now, I don't feel that bad about missing a week because truly it's only going to be Jonathan and Travis that ask us, like, hey, is there a pod at this week?
Yeah. It's just they're the only one honestly, if Keeping on the DL only has 2 fans, it's Jonathan and Travis, so,
Shout out to them.
shout out to them.
They're like the Lady Gaga thing. It's like, if she has 10 fans, I'm one of them. If she has one fan, I'm one of them. If she has no fans, I'm dead.
No, seriously, like, they're the only 2 that, like, I know that, like, religiously listen to the podcast. I think friend of the show, Paige, I think Paige listens sometimes.
Blair, my old
Um
RA Blair, she listens.
That's very nice. Thank you, Blair. Let's just start giving
I know.
whoever fucking follows us, I'll give you a shout out. Anything you want, you know what I mean? I give people roses on TikTok for them to put my name in the sand. Like whatever you guys need,
We'll do
I
it.
will do it. Fuck, man. I'm hoping we get new listeners
I
and
will say,
followers from the thousands of
I
views we
do
get from the
think
podcast
we
clips. So,
did get some new listeners from that
let's
because we did,
go.
like, our audience size went up. I mean, obviously it's down right now because we didn't post anything last week, but we did have like a lot of audiences over the last 7 days. So I do think people were listening that don't normally listen. So,
Yay! Well, welcome everyone. And of course, like the one time people listen, we take a week off of the pod. Of fucking course, we do
sorry
this.
about that, guys.
Um,
That's on me. We did get the
that's fine.
UK
Yeah.
though. We got some UK listeners.
Hello, thank you for subscribing. Uh, we they're like unsubscribe. Yep, that's it. Done.
They heard our Kate Middleton episode and they're like, "Let's go."
um. Well, and King
Yeah.
Charles, and his little red
Yes.
painting.
I just want to be a little tampon.
So, I guess, like, other than that, I feel like I don't know, it's just crazy, like, I don't know if you guys have any ideas. I know we're speaking into the void right now, but if anybody seriously has any ideas about what we should do for our 1-year
Yeah. Truly
podcast
let us
anniversary,
know.
I feel like that should be a special episode. Maybe we should, like, actually, come up with, like, maybe segments
Yeah.
or, um I don't know. I can have friend of the pod Sam maybe put her little brain
Yeah.
to some like fun segments to do. But I feel like that
Ooh,
would be fun.
maybe
If
our listeners, aka, Paige, Travis, Jonathan, and Blair, maybe they could leave us little voice memos and we could put them in and then we could listen to them and react to them live on the pod.
Oh my god, question like
Yeah.
Q&A?
But like you guys have to ask
That
us
would
like
be good.
5 questions each because.
Should I make us like a sound effect like we're a radio station? Keep it on the DL. Fucking fucking You're listening. Keep it on. They're like, "Okay, we're unsubscribing now."
They're like,
Like, there's so
"Ooh,
much
that was
going on in
really
my
cool,"
headphones.
until they got the
Here's
sound effects. So they put every single sound effect on the planet. Boing.
Bing. That was a zinger. That's tough. I don't know if you guys have been listening to the pod since the beginning,
Yeah.
but there was at one time when I started putting clapping
We did try the sound
clapping sounds,
effects for a
and
while.
Daria did HR me, and she came up to me personally and she asked me to
I was like,
stop
"I don't think
doing
I like
that.
it."
So if you're a real OG, you would
You're
know that there's a couple episodes.
do you have, like, after all the topics, it's just like
I was trying to make it more of like a show, but it's just like it was not happening.
and then you
Oh
had your,
man.
Krishan song.
Oh, give me the
I
beat.
can't remember.
What was
It's like
it?
ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba.
Oh, 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 about Little Baby's restaurant. That's right, when she was crying about Little Baby and his restaurant. Oh
Yeah,
man,
we've
good
gone through some
times. I'm trying to think.
phases on this podcast.
Yeah, maybe that could be another segment we can go through, like maybe like iconic moments of the
Yeah.
podcast. Um just I think that's gonna now when is our actual 1 year? Because I know you're better at that
I
than I am.
think it is the 26th, I think.
Okay. And we started this pod when we were working from
Yeah.
home. So
Yeah, because we were like, I mean, once we go back to the office, who knows what's gonna happen. But we were able to
yeah.
keep it up.
And we still did it. It's always nervous at first putting yourself out or like doing a digital footprint
Yeah.
because when people you work with find out, that's like when people in high school found out about my YouTube channel. There's always a slight level of embarrassment that you just don't even want to endure.
Right.
And so when Derry and I started the pod working from home, obviously it kind of like
Yeah, it was fine.
helped the burn
Yeah.
of knowing that like I don't have to like see these people face to face if they find out about the pod. But now, honestly, I think sometimes like I wouldn't say it's one big joke because that makes it sound bad. Like that makes it seem like
Yeah.
everybody's making fun of it, but we're like, yes, funny guy, that's so funny. But there is, I mean, there's jokes around the office. A lot of people are very aware that we have a
Yeah.
podcast, so there's no listens, haters. But you know, so it's like it's always the initial burn of putting yourself out
Yeah.
on the internet that's always kind of scary.
For
And then
sure.
once you put your feet in the water and you start getting warm, you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, and
Everything's
then,
fine."
like, I
So,
feel like at first you're like, "Well, how much do I wanna share?" Like, I don't know, like, you kinda have to figure out
yeah.
where your line is, um,
Yeah.
which I feel like we both kinda have the same line. 'Cause at first I feel like
Ugh,
it's just like, "Oh, no," like, I don't know if I wanna share that about me on the podcast. I don't know if I wanna talk about my depression.
right.
I don't know if I wanna talk about not wearing a
Mhm.
bra or whatever, and now I'm just like, oh,
Eh,
eh."
eh. You know, I watched a girl on the internet the other day that's a nurse full time and a topless maid on the side. So like obviously there could be I wouldn't say worse things, but there's other things we could be doing outside of this establishment
Yeah.
that's you know what
We
I
could do
mean? A little
more
bit more
questionable
risque.
things, yeah.
Right, right. Um, So yeah, maybe we can react to our very first episode because I know that one's rough. Honestly, that's
Speaking of our
but it
first
is one of our most viewed
It is.
videos,
But
so
also speaking of our first video, we talked about that submersible that went down. I can't remember what the name of it was. Apparently some like billionaires are trying to like do it again, but like do it better. I'm
yeah.
just like,
Oh my
why? What? Give me like $100 million. I'll use it for something.
god. I will turn it into my house
Right,
in this economy.
right. It's just like, why do you need to go see the Titanic? They're all dead down there. So like, there's nothing
Also,
more to learn about it.
a newsflash, they're all dead.
So
um, as long as it's just him,
I guess,
go for
yeah,
it.
I
Like,
guess.
don't put any other people's lives at fucking risk. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need four other casualties like last time for this stupid fucking event. So if you want to go down there and swim with the fishes and be a literal Jack from Titanic, be my fucking guest. But you could not pay me to go down there
Absolutely not.
at all.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Nope. When they like resurface that bitch, I'll go visit it, but
When
from
they put
from
it in the
no.
Titanic museum, I'll go.
Yeah, yeah. The Smithsonian, like, what up? Like, I'll come
But I'm
see
not
it,
going
but
down there to see
um
it.
no. No, I used to not ever go to my sneaky link's house. They always had to come to me, you know what I mean? So why would I do that for a ship? So I was not the traveler back in those days. But
Yeah.
anyway,
DM us.
I think yeah, let us know. I mean, uh maybe we'll do that grand old maybe Sam can be our photographer. Maybe we should do that grand old
Photo shoot?
1 year
Oh,
anniversary
yeah, we did
photos.
say we were
I
gonna
think
do
that would be
that.
really
That would be
fun.
fun.
I do have some like heart-shaped pans and stuff, so we can do like oh my god,
Pants.
an orange pan. Yeah.
Why do you have those just
Yeah.
in your room? Also, not only do you have them, but they're just in your room. You're like, it's just
Well,
right
I
over
use them.
here.
This apartment's small, okay?
I know there's a
Baby,
kitchen.
could you go get the Ninja blender? It's in my bathroom. Um Yeah. Yeah. Could you go get the rice cooker underneath the kitchen sink? Thank you.
I can get to
No.
the living room.
Um uh yeah, one of these. So, like an orange cake with pink icing
And we
that
smash it in each other's
says
face. Like a cake smash.
we c-
Or like
we
the
we
wedding
could do
thing.
that. Fucking just smashing it. That's just us in like a park. People are thinking we're fucking crazy. Like they're gonna think we're like off Molly or something.
You're like, are they okay?
Smashing things. They're like they're either very in love
They're like,
or they
he's
are
like,
on
they're like,
drugs.
Sam's got to be their handler, right? That's like,
Right.
she took him out for a special day.
Yeah. They're either engaged or coming down off a high. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so I think that would be super fun if we did like a cake and I don't know, just kind of made it more. We told each other that 2024 was going to be a better year for the podcast. So, oh, shout out to podcast. I guess that's what we use. Not no shout outs until they start paying us, but
We
um
did say that, and since
yeah,
then, we did add video though. That's something.
yeah, no, we definitely excelled like from where we were in the beginning, considering like how nervous we were in the
Yeah.
beginning and how hard it was for us to transition out of topics. Um,
We would just sit there like, um, and so now we're gonna talk
anyway,
about.
yeah. So it was kind of rough in the beginning. Even though a lot of our good episodes came out like, probably the first, like, 3
Yeah.
months of the pod coming out, like, Get a Job
Yeah, which
Kittens,
nobody listened to.
um
That's when we finally started to, like,
yeah,
get it.
yeah, Get a Job Kittens is good. That one's really good. So, you should just for our gift to us, you should just watch every podcast
And,
over,
just watch them
all over
all
again.
about 6 times, and that should do it, honestly.
Yeah. If you like, share, post, comment, and send us $5 for a
Yeah,
coffee, we will, in fact, give you a shout out on the
we
pod,
will.
courtesy of
Yeah.
us. Um, so anyway, well, we hit an hour, which I told you I only wanted to do like 40 minutes, but
I
of
told you we've
course,
never done that in our
that's our
lives.
life.
Anyways, yeah, like she said, rate us 5 stars and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Google Podcasts. Um, we're also on YouTube. I am again, the videos will get there when they get there, but they are there. So if you'd like to watch, we're over on
Yeah,
YouTube. And
right.
our socials are in the episode description.
If you guys want to watch any podcast clips that I work very hard on, please go watch them at Keep It On the DL Pod on TikTok. As always, guys,
Do better.
do better, and we'll see you guys next Monday. Bye.
Bye.